Enigmatic is me here again, and this time I'm going to be touching on the subject of dating, relationships, women, from the top of obviously from the point of view from a man's perspective, specifically my own and my own experiences. So it might not reflect your own experiences or anything like that. So sit back and just take in my opinion and feel free to hate on it or like it. It is what it is. But so I've always been a generally shy person, pretty suffering from anxiety, of course. If you've seen the video I've uploaded about it, then you'd already know that. So but for the people who haven't, yes, I do. And it's really annoying to deal with, especially when it comes to the dating scene or whatever you want to call it, meeting people, specifically in my case, women. So I've noticed a few things from all the women that I have met, which if that came off as sounding a lot, it was not really that many, just saying, not gonna lie here. So the traits that I've found that women seem to be attracted to don't always seem to be traits that I myself have, generally speaking. One trait being like this extreme level of like self-confidence and cockiness or conceitedness or whatever. Yeah, I don't really have that. Like, I understand my positive traits and my negative traits, and I feel somewhat balanced, but I'm not extremely overly like hyper confident in certain things or myself. And I don't need to lie. That's just it is what it is. People sometimes can have doubt. There's no reason to hate on that. Self-doubt at times can be pretty useful. But I digress. So sometimes I'll go to the store or I'll go wherever, like a place that I frequent, and I'll see an attractive female working there that's around my age, and once again, anxiety. For the most part, I won't speak to them much besides hi and do my transaction or whatever, get what I need to be done, and I'm out. Sometimes though, I try to work past that. I'm trying to work on my anxiety issues and my speech and self-confidence and all those things required to have a face-to-face meeting with a stranger, and especially of the opposite sex, and I get to know them and everything. It's never been the easiest thing for me to do. But sometimes I'll try to get to know them, or speak past a few words, and I'll try to start a decent conversation about something, about whatever. And then of course I want this to lead into something, whatever it might be. And that starts off, I guess I'm old-fashioned, but I ask for a number, which so you could call, text, whatever. That's just always how I'm gonna be. That's always just gonna be who I am. I've never been too much of the social media person. Like maybe when I was younger, before we really had cell phones like that, I used to email people. But yeah, I'm gonna call you on the phone, and we can meet up and talk in person and things like that. So I ask, hey, I want to get to know you, or I would like to talk to you sometimes. However it might come out, and they're usually be receptive, I suppose, and give me their number, and I'm just like, a lot of tension, weight off, and I'm like, oh, that was rough, but I feel good about it because I finally got things off my chest, which is important to do. It's very important to get things off your chest and say what you feel you need to say, because you're better off knowing rather than not knowing, for the most part. You don't want to go home and say, I should have talked to her, or I should have talked to him, in the case of a woman, or and that's how I want to live my life. I want to live my life speaking to the people I want to speak to, or at least attempting to, of course, because you don't gotta talk to everybody, but if it's a stranger, you could at least give them a chance, speak to them, see what's up. I've never really been much of the outgoing person. Like, literally, I'm in a park right now, but 90% of the time in my house, just chilling, whatnot, doing my usual hobbies. So, not many chances to meet people face to face come to me. Come to me. So, I take them when I can get them, and I do the other aspect or thing that people do often is meet people online. I spend a lot of time on the internet. I've met quite a few people online, a lot even. Mostly through things like online gaming, gaming communities, things of that nature, or other interests that I have, of course, and other various other websites. I've been through the ringer. But when it comes to the meeting women there, once again, this is really about dating and whatnot. It's never that easy. If you go on a dating website, there seem to be a whole lot more men than women, or at least that's how it would seem, because the women don't often respond because they say it themselves. They get a whole lot of messages pretty much from every guy because they say it's a numbers game. You gotta ask everyone. You gotta talk to all of them because you never know which one's gonna like you, which one's gonna be taken, which one's gonna not be interested at that moment, etc., etc. So yeah, I figure that the males on sites like that message pretty much every female, or ones that they find attractive or interesting in some way at least. Of course, you're not gonna message someone you don't have any sort of attraction to, I would assume. And I can understand that would be pretty difficult for the women, in one way, because they have way too many messages to go through, read, and respond to them all. Sure, I understand that. But that also is a positive to them because they get so many potential suitors, dates, for themselves. So that's a plus. You gotta look at the good and the bad. Like I said, balance. But when you're not the really outgoing type, meeting people in general is not the easiest thing to do. And that puts people like me at a disadvantage. Once again, this is from my point of view. This is what I've seen, my experiences. So, talk to some women, and they might, here's a question that I really, hate having answers on sometimes. They say, so what do you like to do? For fun or interest, hobbies, that's usually what you like to do means. So I say, I like to do this. I like to play video games. I like to watch anime. I like to make videos. This. I like to watch, I like to read certain things. I spend a lot of time on the internet, so hey, that comes as a freaking obvious. But I don't mention anything that seems to they seem to be interested in, which I chalk up to just me being different, just being my own person. And of course, obviously being a man, because men and women will at times have different hobbies. That's a given. So I remember talking to one person, emailing one woman, and she said, "You don't like to go out? You're so young." And I forgot. We didn't talk for long, but I believe I explained. I don't think I went into straight detail, but for most people that know me, the reason I don't go out much is because, like I mentioned previously, anxiety. Social situations are not my forte. Parties, clubs, nightclubs, lounges, bars, anything pretty much in general. I'm more of an indoors person for the most part. As I'm just doing this and chilling at a park, usually with somebody, just talking and hanging and kicking it, chilling on a street corner, just chilling, spitting bars, rapping, freestyling, just things like that is interesting. Everything else is like whatever I just do indoors. It's all good. But a lot of the females tend to be more outgoing, like to go out, like to spend time outside, do things, go to the beach, go to the club, go to swimming, go to play some like sport or whatever. And I'm not that type of person. And I always just wound up being like, oh wow, I guess they expect this of men for some reason, whatever. Or they're asking me what I do. Oh no, wait, they're asking me if I go to school, and for some reason, it seems to be like super important at this age to be going to school for some reason, because people tend to think that you're not doing anything with your life, and I just hate that. Women, if a guy is not in school, that does not mean he's not doing anything with his life. Sometimes that might be true, but that's not something you can just judge every man based off of. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. I hate school. I'm an intelligent person, but I hate school. What, is that so hard to understand or comprehend? It's not that difficult, really. Or where do you work is another question. It's not that, it's easy for me to answer. I don't work anywhere. I mean, to be specific, I work on my YouTube channel uploading videos and things of that nature, and I'm working on myself as a person. But as far as a professional career, no, I don't have one, at least not yet. That seems to turn them away, but they don't take the time to actually understand that it's for health reasons. My health is number one. That means the most to me. They don't seem to take the time to realize that I was working at some point, and the pain was so intense that I had to quit, and that actually hurts me more than anything. But you know, a lot of people seem to be in a rush. They seem to be judgmental, and I don't like that. And so, you know, we can't really communicate if they're going to be judging me on that, and that's just how that goes. But another thing, they well, I guess it's not really a question, but it's something that really bothers me too, is when women want to be like, oh, you don't want to be just friends. No, sometimes, not all men, obviously, let me just state that, but no, sometimes men don't want to just be your friend. Sometimes they have feelings for you that they can't suppress. You shouldn't walk around suppressing your feelings, especially for another person. Try to think about how that would feel if it was you. You wouldn't like that. You wouldn't want to walk around having this intense feeling for someone and just having to hide it because they don't feel the same, but you still want to be with them, around them as a friend. I'm not a person that can do that. And I wouldn't expect someone else to do that either. That's just how I feel. Treat people how you want to be treated. Because I've gotten that before, even from like people I was more than friends with at one point, and they stay friends. I don't know that thing of staying friends with your exes is not really like fly with me. Because I wouldn't do it, and I don't expect the same of the other person. I don't expect them to do it either. Because we should be able to have expectations of one another if we're going to, you know, be civil. You know, you gotta respect yourself and respect the other person. But one last one. Let me see. One thing I hate is when you're dating someone and they have a lot of male friends, and if you're a female, then the reverse. If they have a lot of female friends and you're dating that guy. Me personally, I think it's weird, honestly. I've always been a person that hangs out with guys, but I wouldn't want my girlfriend doing that, because I feel like, as far as friendships go, men can be friends with men, women can be friends with women. I'm not really a person that it mixes that, because I feel that causes unnecessary confusion and stress upon the person, either person in the relationship, and it causes things that tend to happen that don't need to happen. We don't want any accusations thrown around that don't need to be there, and we don't need to have trust issues. Unless, of course, you swing the other way, then, and they don't know, or go both ways, rather, but that's neither here nor there. It's a different topic. But, I've been talking, and at this point, I just seem like I'm rambling, don't I? So, I'm just gonna end it right here. This is just some things about men's side, my side, perspective of dating and whatnot, so don't get offended. It is what it is. Thanks for watching.